Hello everybody, it's Karina with Karina Loves to Plan. Welcome back to my channel. Yes, I have another new pen day. And for the last couple of months, I know these have been coming weekly, and I know for a lot of people that could be too much, and I understand. This is a lot for me as well, and one of the reasons why I do film a new pen day is, one, it's a form of memory keeping for me, but also a form of really keeping track of what I have acquired, and a way for me to really note down how I feel about the pen and things like that. So one of the reasons that I do film this is for me personally. I like being able to look back and see what I've acquired. Do I still feel the same way? And things like that. All right, so this particular pen is a Benu. I currently don't have any Benus in my collection. I have had 4, I believe, in my collection in total, all of which I have already sold and moved on. But this was one I have not owned, and was one that actually I really liked the colorway of this and was always intrigued by, but never went for it. And then in the last couple of weeks, Benu approached me and said, we would love to collaborate with you. Go ahead and choose something from our shop. So I did, and here we are. So thank you to Benu for gifting this to me. And when I went onto the site to choose what I wanted, I didn't want to choose something just because it was new and flashy. I wanted to actually choose something that I would keep in my collection. So here we are. One of the things about the packaging that I like about Benu is that the boxes and everything like that are recyclable, which is great because then really you're not spending too much money on top of the pen on packaging. And if you don't keep your boxes, these are recyclable, which is fantastic. Okay, let's get to the pen. Does anyone recognize this? This is the Edelweiss in Benu's Talisman collection. What I love about the Talisman collection is that the name of the pen, there's normally actually a piece of that or something like that within the pen itself. So Edelweiss, I mean, if you are familiar with Sound of Music, that's where the name means something to me, but there is definitely something more. The Edelweiss is actually, it's been inspired by myths and legends, and it is a non-toxic mountain flower that grows high in the Alps and has a long history in mystic folklore. So there is actually some bits of Edelweiss flower within this pen, which is what I love about the Talisman. So here we go. Again, all recyclable packaging. It comes with a converter, but also, what is this here? This is a use and care guide and the lifetime warranty. I love that. Now, Benu used to be based in Russia. They are now based in Armenia, and the fact that they were able to do that in such a short amount of time was amazing. And what I actually really like about Benu is that they collaborate with so many different retailers and different different people in the community to create beautiful, beautiful pens. They've collaborated with Atlas Stationers, with Gourmet Pens. I know there's been a few collaborations with Endless Pens. So and I believe Gold Spot as well. I featured a collaboration here from Gold Spot. So Benu is very well known in the community, which I think is fantastic. So it's like, okay, Karina, get to the pen. Most of you already would know what the Edelweiss pen looks like, but here we go. Isn't that so pretty? Benu are known for their bright, sparkly, flashy pens. They're also known for the pens that have their hand-painted artistry or artist work on them. But what I love about the Edelweiss is I really like the kind of teal antique glass look of the base shimmer, and then you've got the holographic shimmers in here, and then you have the black cap around, or sorry, the black around the cap here, but then you also have the black center. And then when you unscrew it, you have the black grip section. So it's actually a pretty seamless transition from the cap to the barrel. I have seen some Benu pens where it is still the black grip section, but there is no black in the resin, where I found that in terms of design, it broke up the design a bit, whereas this is a really nice seamless transition. But just look, let's move these out of the way here so you can really focus on the shimmers that are in this pen. This is fantastic. Now, the Edelweiss is still readily available on Benu's website, and I know it is available as well on other retailers, and I think this is available in Atlas as well. So I do have some affiliate links down in the description below if you are interested in this pen. But just look at how it shimmers. Now, in terms of its specs, it does have a really good clip on here. I like the design aesthetic of the clip. I don't really use clips though, funny enough. And then in terms of the how many turns it takes to uncap, you've got 1, 2, and a little over 2 1/4, under 2 1/2 there. So it takes a little bit to uncap and cap, but it's not a huge deal for me. But if you're on the go and you want something that's quick to uncap and cap, that might be, you know, for some people a deal breaker. Can you post this pen? You certainly can. And actually, it doesn't really back weight the pen very much. It's quite nicely weighted in my hand there. And I mean, I wouldn't normally post this pen, but that feels really nice in the hand. My only concern for me personally is that there is that step between the actual body and the cap that rests right in that part of my hand that gets really sensitive to those things. But otherwise, it's actually very, very comfortable in my hand, whether it is posted or not. So for anybody who is interested, it does post to about there. So it posts pretty deeply for a pen, and it's quite secure. Now, what else is included? You have a Schmidt nib, and I asked for a fine. And what I love is that, I don't know if you can see it there, but the F is actually inscribed in cursive in that middle circle there. And then it's a Schmidt iridium point nib. And then all of the Benu pens come with a Schmidt converter as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and compare this to other pens in my collection, and then we'll ink it up and do a quick writing sample. So we have the Benu Talisman, and I'm going to compare it to my Esterbrook Esty, my Leonardo Momento Zero, and I have my TWSBI Eco as well to compare it to, and then also compare it to a Lamy 2000. So it is actually, when I compare all the lengths of them, it's actually even a little bit smaller than the Lamy 2000. And then the longest out of this bunch here is the Esterbrook Esty. But let's look at them uncapped. So you can see the size of the Benu Talisman now uncapped, and it has a number 6 size nib, so the same size nib as the Esty and the Leonardo Momento Zero. And then in terms of length, it actually does look longer than the Esterbrook Esty now. And then for the grip section, the grip section is a little, like, slightly narrower than what I'm used to, but it's still very, very comfortable. And it's got a long grip section as well, where if I'm resting my hand in it, what is going on with here? Ah, there we go. Where I'm resting my fingers on there, it does rest a little bit on the threads, but it's not at all sharp, and so it's still really, really comfortable in my hand. And looking at the size of it compared to everything else, let's see, it is bigger now. It's about actually second in line, only compared to the TWSBI Eco. So the length of it uncapped is actually pretty comparable to the other pens that I find comfortable in my collection. So let's go ahead and weigh the pen. So weighing the Benu Talisman Edelweiss, and it is 21 grams, so a very light pen actually compared to some others. And then uncapped it is 13 grams. And the reason that it doesn't roll away is that it does have facets along the body. What I like about the facets that are along the body here is that they're not so pronounced that they're uncomfortable. I don't know if it's just a me thing. It's probably just a me thing, but facets along a pen can prove very, very uncomfortable for me. I don't know why I'm so sensitive to that, but these are actually not too bad at all. They add a nice dimension to the pen without being too uncomfortable. So let's go ahead and ink this pen up. So I'm now here in my Galen Leather A5 notebook with 52 GSM Chamois River paper, and this stamp here is from Everyday Explorers Co. I need my water paper because I don't want my oils to transfer over. So the brand of pen is Benu. I love the fine Schmidt nibs. And this is the Talisman, if I can write. And the nib is a fine, and the color is Edelweiss. And it is inked with MD paper blue gray. I have owned 2 talismans in the past and sold them because I fell out of love with the color and the finish. But the Edelweiss has always caught my eye, and I almost blame my friend Adrian here because she has an Edelweiss, and every time I see it I love it. And now I'm so happy to have this. Wow, what did I write? I'm so happy to know I have this in my collection now, to now have this in my collection. Goodness gracious. The body and grip are narrower than what I normally prefer, but this would be okay for a page of writing. The fine nib is juicy and smooth and has a lovely crisp line. I love the Talisman model, and I'm happy to have the Benu back in my collection. So here we are with the Benu Talisman. I did notice in terms of like the shimmer, it looks like there's like a gap just in this area where the shimmer kind of got stuck here and didn't go down the pen, but that's not a huge deal to me. I think just the kind of antique glass looking shimmer along with the holographic shimmers is really pretty. I'm going to try writing with this posted because it does feel good in the hand, and sometimes a pen that's too light can be a little uncomfortable, because if it's too light I'm almost death gripping the pen, whereas if it's a little heavier it allows my hand to ease up a bit on the pen, therefore probably making it a little bit more comfortable. But look at just how lovely this sits in my hand. That fine nib is really juicy and crisp, and it's a beautiful pen, really, really beautiful pen. So if you are in the market for a Benu pen, but you're not sure of some of the bigger models they have in their collection, I highly recommend a Benu Talisman because they're just absolutely fantastic, and you can get these at different retailers. I have an affiliate link for Atlas Stationers, and I also have an affiliate link at Gold Spot Pens if you are interested in that. All right, but that is it for me today. Let me know what your thoughts are. And I actually chose this ink because it's like a darker version of this here, and I think it works out really, really well. All right, again, that is it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, please leave me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching and have yourselves a great day.